Hey everybody, what is up? And I was thinking after watching like all these last videos that it'd probably be a good time for me to tell my Lyme disease story because I'm getting better and better, but I should always describe what better and better is. And so in my videos, I'm going to be describing what my day looks like so that you can see what better is. And then I'm also going to describe what some of my previous days looked like so you could see what the comparison is and what getting better and better is. And I'll make another video sometime down the way and I'll title it My Lyme Disease Story or whatever. But this is probably just a treat, I guess, for you guys who are following along and watching each of these videos. And then eventually I'll make like an official My Lyme Disease Story video and maybe put some violin music in there or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe I'm not kidding. Anyways, so my story with Lyme disease, first of all, how am I doing right now? I just did step 16. It's called immunity. It felt like it cleaned me up. I literally felt like I was getting cleaned as I was using it, which was great. It gave me great energy after I did it, so that means it totally killed some nasties. And yeah, like what great means for me right now is that I can walk around my house, that I can go outside and play with my dog on occasion, when I desire to, that I can take walks in the sunshine for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I can do various things like that that are normal, considered normal, enjoyable, things that are anti-bed. So what does that mean? Anti-bed means that I was in a position at one point where I could not get out of bed at all, And so another thing that is good about my development is what's called brain fog. A lot of people think this is a very confusing symptom to describe. Yes, it is without a doubt, but if you get enough people describing it, it develops into a solidified idea. And the people who experience it, we are able to relate to each other what it is for sure. But it's this, experience where literally your thoughts are stolen from you. You walk into rooms all the time and you forget where you're going. It's the Alzheimer's, what's an imitator, how they think that Lyme disease sometimes imitates a lot of other disease. It's the Alzheimer's not intimidating, what is the word? Oh my gosh, it begins, see, maybe it's happening right now. Maybe I'm intimidating myself, but imitate. Oh my gosh, how hysterical. But it's the Alzheimer's imitator. And there's lots of imitating factors to Lyme disease. And so that's one of the ones that were like, these kids have joint pain and they also are forgetting stuff and they're having heart palpitations. Like, what the heck's going on with them? So anyways, my brain fog is getting better and better and better and stronger, and I'm speaking faster. And some of you have commented that you've noticed over the course of 60 days of using AmpCoil now, that you've seen my brain and my speech change, and that's fantastic because you see it differently than I do because you're seeing from the outside, I'm seeing from the inside. And from the inside, it gets frustrating sometimes because you're just like, I'm getting better, but I can't drive a car, or I can't go do whatever, so I'm frustrated. But anyways, moving on. So that's what getting better is right now for me, is that I'm thinking clearly, that I'm able to do some stuff every day, that I'm able to make these videos without getting severely dizzy. This making videos is like a consistent measurement for me because I know what it takes to make a video, what kind of energy it takes to make a video, and I'm getting better and better at producing them. And so I actually, that gives me a good idea. Find something that you can do every day that doesn't hurt you too much and keep doing it. And that way you'll be able to measure, how much better you're getting, and that's actually a really, really cool thing. Maybe reading a book. How many pages can you read without getting, Lyme tired, right? And the light outside is getting dark, so the video is getting darker, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. So my Lyme disease story, okay? We're hitting 5 minutes on the video now. For those of you who want to know, I have a screen behind the camera that tells me different things that are going on in the shot. So that's nice. But so I can see what time it is in the video. But anyways, my story, I was cliff diving and I had a full-time job. I was making $40,000 a year, a good job out of college, solid. And I went cliff diving in Gainesville in the forest at a quarry, and it's a really popular quarry. And I honestly should call the police up there and tell them, like, to put out an announcement or something on their Twitter and all that stuff. But like, kids should not go there, unfortunately. I'm all for having fun and cliff diving and stuff, but it's private property, and those forests are really infected with ticks. So anyways, I went into the forest, had a good time, had a good jump, came home, and 2 to 3 days later, on my body, hiding in various hairy portions. I'll let you use your imagination there. But in my crotch area, I had 2 to 3 ticks hiding and sucking on blood. And so that obviously was uncomfortable, especially as a male. And I wanted those things gone, so I plucked them off, and I had lived in Connecticut for most of my life. So I had pulled off plenty of ticks in my life, and there's not really good education on Lyme disease by any stretch. So you pulled them off and you hope for the best, and that's all I knew about it, right? There's a bug on me. Crap, get it off. And so over the course of about 6 months, I started getting super tired at work, really, really tired, to the point where I was having to nap at lunch almost every single day. And I would sometimes go out to my car to nap because I was so tired, put my head on my desk. It was just ridiculous. And then it got to the point where if I didn't go to bed by like 9:30 every night, I couldn't go to work the next day. So I started leaving church early on Thursday nights and doing all these different things, just getting out and going to bed like a grandpa, and my body started aching, and then I started having muscle spasms at work, like random muscle spasms, and it was just like, what's going on? Well, then one day I had huge abdominal pain and abominable pain, like the abominable snowman. No, abdominal. And it was really, really bad. And it was the day I was actually supposed to go to Chicago and see Hamilton and also go to a company training. But I was really excited to see Hamilton, way more excited than the company training. And that's a play, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know. And so I was getting in the car to go to the airport, and my abdomen was hurting so bad, and all of a sudden I felt like my body composition just change. And I look up in the mirror, I'm ghost white, and then all of a sudden I pass out, and thank God I was off the highway. But I was on a bridge, and so my car begins to roll down the bridge, and I probably end up going 10, 15, 20 miles per hour, and I crash. And then the crash wakes me up, I guess, a rush of blood to the head or whatever. And I go to the hospital, and to make this version the shorter version, because it could go on and on, I end up seeing a bunch of Western doctors. They treat me with all sorts of different types of meds. Nothing is working. And hilariously, in a weird way, I guess I can go into it now, they put Rocephin in me through a shot because they didn't know what was wrong with me. And they gave me some pills to take home. And because I said I had I said that my testicles were hurting, so they gave me doxycycline, which fights against a lot of common bacteria in that area. And so I got Rocephin and doxycycline in the hospital right when I was having a Lyme disease reaction. And that's amazing, right? It's very interesting because immediately it made me better. And so I got better, and I actually went home and I couldn't get out of bed for like 2 weeks. And then I got better as I was taking, those antibiotics. And so I went back to work and everything was fine. And I had this crazy dizziness during those 2 weeks that made it so I couldn't drive, and that's why I couldn't go to work. And so then the dizziness goes away completely as I take the medicine, and I'm like, whoa, I get my life back. I go back to work, and I'm no longer taking meds or anything, and guess what happens again? Oh my gosh, I'm driving my car, and boom, that feeling hits me again. My body's composition, I feel like the blood not flowing properly, like something's going wrong for sure. Like they call it like an orthostatic reaction. And I almost pass out while driving, and I have the intelligence to stop myself on the road this time. And literally, I was so kind of whacked out or whatever. But apparently, this guy told me that I got out of my car in the middle of the road and stumbled across the street and lay down in the grass, and he called 911. and thank God that he did. But I laid down in the grass, and I don't even remember that well. But he saw it, and he said it looked like I was drunk. And it was nighttime, so might as well assume that. But obviously, the EMTs did their stuff on me, and I was not drunk at all. I hadn't even had any alcohol. I drink like 1 glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine a month. It's crazy. And wow, this shot's getting really dark, but that's okay. So just so you guys know, it's like probably 6:30, 7:30 here. So the sun's going down. I should have videoed this another time. But then from that passing out session, I went home and I didn't have any meds. And because my body restored faster. And so that's interesting. And so they just sent me home. They're like, man, what's wrong with this kid? It's very interesting. See a bunch of Western doctors for a couple months, like 6 months. Nothing positive. I can't get out of bed. I have no energy. It zapped me completely. The Lyme is taking over, but we don't know it's Lyme, right? And we're just confused little American people that have no idea what to do. And that's when my mom is in a Whole Foods getting me some food, and she meets a woman who is going to see a Lyme literate doctor, and somehow she's like, yeah, I'm shopping for my son. He's very sick, and you should see this doctor. And so boom, beautiful God connection to this guy. We go to him. He starts healing me. It's going well. He's starting me slow. We're seeing a slow recovery. Then I jump on to some essential oils with one of his partners, and she's awesome, and I could tell you about her in another video. But she starts treating me with essential oils, and I start fully healing, like pure Bulgarian essential oils, imported, no messing around, very, very honest dealers, good dealers of oils, no delusion, the purest. A lot of companies say they're the purest, but it's just not true. Those words aren't regulated, and sad day. What are you going to do? Cry about it? No, you got to learn, what is right, and you got to study it and do it right. So anyways, this woman was someone who did things right, and she was curing me, and she'd see the list of people that she's cured, and all their testimonies. They've written letters to her. She has a book of them all. It's really kind. It's amazing to read it. People with COPD, people with asthma, people with cancer, like 2 people with cancer cured by essential oils. I mean, this woman, she just hides in this like little hut, off the street, and it's air conditioned, but the point is that it's just like totally, hidden. It's super hidden. And, and she's just healing people, and she's awesome. And so she's healing me. I'm getting stronger again. I'm driving again. It's like amazing. And then I decide to go and use my strength, even though she told me no physical activity, Connor. She said, you can't heal Lyme if you're going and physically exerting yourself and producing heat in the body. It's not good. And so I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm a young boy and strong and mighty. Stupid. She called me a mischievous boy after that. And I went and played volleyball, and I released so much Lyme into my body, so much dormant Lyme, found a nice space to thrive, that it came out, and my body was so toxic that it couldn't take the killing of any more bacteria. And so I went in for an essential oil appointment. My body was freaking out. My heart rate was going through the roof, and I literally couldn't sit in the room. And she pulled me out of the room, and she said, you're so dumb. Like, you've probably set back your recovery by at least 6 months. She's like, what am I going to do with you, you mischievous boy? And we laughed a little bit, but it was kind of sad. I mean, it was a little tragic. I cried because I knew that I had made such a dumb choice, It was really dumb. Wow, don't let this video get too dark. Like, it's all getting dark, and so it's getting sad, but it's not that sad because I'm doing a lot better now. Long story short, after that, I couldn't let my body get sicker and sicker. That was dangerous, right? And keep in mind, through all of this, I was doing IV Recephin and also oral antibiotics as well from the Lyme literate doctor, which now I don't recommend for anyone. I don't think that's the right way to go. I don't think antibiotics are a necessarily good invention. I think they're only supposed to be used in tragic cases, instances like gangrene and things like that, where you have a serious infection, and you'll die without them. For things that you won't die without, I think, going the natural route that is holistic and cleansing and nurturing to the body as you provide its medicine, those are the best ways to go. So obviously herbs, essential oils, good food, good water, rest, superfoods, restorative foods, blah, blah, blah. All that being said, my dad and I had to become my own doctor, and we needed to research like crazy, and that's what we did. And we ended up finding a lot of things, some good food, some good water, the maker's diet, some good supplements. We tried out different things, paid for a couple things, returned a couple things, blah, blah, blah. And then we found AmpCoil, which is what this series is all about. And AmpCoil is quantum level energy medicine. And it lines up perfectly with what I believe and understand about science and life. And so we moved forward, and it made sense. And it took a lot of convincing, and that's a whole nother story for another time. And I'm running out of time because my camera can actually only film 20 minutes, which is funny. So all that being said, that was my Lyme disease stories. Then I started AmpCoil. I started using it at a friend's house because we weren't sure if we wanted to buy it yet. It started healing me. I was like, Dad, this is really working. He said, okay. We talked about it. My mom and dad were like, okay. After 2 months, we decided to move forward. We bought one, and I've been getting better and better ever since. And wow, this is getting dark. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. See my teeth? See all the light? The light. It's white. It's true. There's always a little bit of white in the darkness, right? Like the yin and yang. So anyways, all that being said, now I have an AmpCoil. That is my quick version of the Lyme disease story. And I thought it'd be good to tell you guys that, because you need to understand where I've come from. And where I've come from is my dad literally carrying me to the bathroom, lying in bed for hours and days in extreme pain and extreme testicular pain, to be honest, because that was the localization of the bite. I would have these shocking pains that take my breath away, where I couldn't move or couldn't breathe for probably 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I couldn't even sit at a table or anything like that. I couldn't even sit in this chair like this. And now I'm coming into a much better place. Praise God for that. So now you can't even see me, which is hilarious. But I love you guys. And this is a very interesting video to be in the series because of the lighting. But that's okay. And I just love being organic, and I love telling the truth over and over again. And that's what I promise for you guys, is the organic truth, especially as I begin to expand this channel and stuff. So I'm really pumped for the 50 of you guys who have subscribed and have come along the way and have sent me really encouraging messages on Facebook and here on YouTube in the comments. And, I appreciate you guys so much, and you give me a reason to keep producing, and you give me, that encouragement that some people do care. And I love that. I love that very much. So that is my story for now. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm on step 16. It's making me better and better and stronger. And look out for the product review videos. I'm going to launch a new section of the YouTube channel with all that. And then I'm going to begin promoting those so that lots of people see them and more people come to the channel. So that's going to be good stuff. Praise the Lord. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm also launching a website, so that's fun. It's going to be withthejones.com. I'll make sure to tell you guys about that when it launches and stuff. Take care. Be well. Adios. Oh, clap, clap.